Hi and welcome back to Grace Gardening. This is my channel where I show you everything I'm doing down at the allotment. So today's video is all about installing a solar air pump for my pond. This has been sent to us by our good friends over at Biling. This is intended to pump air directly into your pond to help the fish, the plants, everything in the pond, the whole pond ecosystem really get that extra oxygen that it needs. So I'm going to open it up now, I'm going to see what's inside, then we're going to install it and see what's what. So please follow me on this video to see how we add some oxygen to our pond. First things first, here's the box it comes in. So it's from the company Biling, Nature's Ally, born for it. Really compact design. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, first things first, we've got the instruction manual, so solar air pump user manual. Have a quick look, see what this says. Looks quite easy. So we're going to expect a solar panel, some spikes, some tubing, 2 air stones, a T-connector and some screws. Presume the screws are to connect up the solar panel. So the solar air pump is specially designed for oxygenating plants or fish in water and is powered by a solar panel. During the day, the solar panel will power the air pump, charge the battery so that it runs for 24 hours a day. Perfect. It uses the latest electromagnetic pump technology, which makes the pump have high efficiency, long service life and low noise. It can be used in various places such as fish tanks, aquariums, hydroponic plants. It can also provide oxygenation when fishing in the wild or carrying a small amount of aquatic products. Especially suitable for emergency oxygen increase when there's a power failure. Okay, all interesting. Let's see what we've got. So here's the tubing. Here's our spike. Here, oh, we got 3 balls. It says we got 2. We got 3. And here is the solar panel. Okay, not the biggest solar panel I've ever seen, but maybe it doesn't need to be that big. And we've got some buttons on the back. We've got an on, off, a mode, and I'm gonna guess that's where the tube will go in. So I think this is going to be quick and easy to set up, but let's have a go. Right, here is the assembly instructions. There's 8 steps to it. Okay, so number 1 says cut the tubing as needed, as determined by the depth of the water where you want to place the air stone. Okay, so the instructions are a little confusing, but I think there's parts of this I can just ignore. So first of all, it looks like there's some wiring which doesn't exist with this model. It says cut the tubing into 2 pieces, one at 1.6 foot and one at 5.3 foot. Well, we've only got this tubing and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be, well, maybe it would last 6 foot, maybe, but I don't really understand why I'd need to do that. Okay, so we're just going to go on to connect the tubing with air stone and T-connector. So I think maybe we get 3 of these air stones, so you've got a spare one. 3 altogether, so keep that one spare. Here's our T-connector. So I'm going to guess we're going to put the T-connector on the end. All right, little bit of a squeeze to get that on, but you get the idea. So that's not nice and tight, that's not going to fall off, and there's definitely no air can escape from it. Okay, on the back says 3 foot under the water, 3.2 foot is okay, but 3.5 foot is too deep. The T-connecting piece looks like it should be outside the water, not at an angle, so they've got to be completely even. We should not go any deeper than 3.2 feet. So that's the maximum it should go to. The two stones should be roughly the same depth. The whole thing is waterproof, you'd hope so, because this is going in a pond. It's rainproof. Do not completely immerse the pump in water. Well, that's a solar panel, so that needs to be out of the water anyway, facing the sun. Clean the panel regularly to prevent dirty panel from affecting its charge. Understand? Clean the air stone and tubing regularly to avoid the air stone and tubing being blocked by algae or dirt. That's fine. Don't bend the tubing or make a right angle. This is all obvious stuff. So we want the air stones to be, well, my pond is about 3 foot deep. Right, I'm going to have to make sure, right, I see now. So that's the pump and the solar panel all together. I'm going to have to make sure that faces the sun. So I'm going to pop that just at the front of the pond. Then we're going to have to make sure we've got enough tubing that reaches the pond. And then these balls to be in the water sufficiently deep enough with what we have. Okay, just attach this stake onto the back of the solar panel, pop that down. It's going to go that way so our buttons are on top. I'm going to tighten that up so it can't move. I think I might have to clear a bit of these plants just so that I can get this solar panel into position. I'm just going to remove these as they are going to block the sun. They've actually gone a bit overgrown anyway. Okay, so we're going to need this solar panel to be as close to the pond as possible, hence why I've cleared this area. So hopefully I should be able to stake this in as so. That's quite nice and firm. The sun goes around that way in my plot, so as long as that's got getting the sun for most of the day, this will charge the battery and then pump and then be able to power the stones, send the oxygen down deep into the water. So I'm just going to try and measure how deep I need it, and then we can attach the stones. So the instructions say the T connector should be out of the water. So as long as I can get, say, to there, I'm going to cut these at 2 foot each. That then gives me plenty to be able to put the stones right down deep into the pond. Okay, so I'm going to cut this piece first of all, about 2 foot length. Take this off again. Going to put that on the back. Hopefully that'll slide on. Making sure it's, again, nice and tight. You can warm these up slightly if you've got some hot water, just to help the plastic expand. That'll help them slide on a bit easier. Equally, if you've got some lubricant, pop that on. It might make it go on easier as well, but that's gone on okay. That's perfectly fine. That'll be held in place. Let's just see if it comes on now. Might already have some charge. Right, it's on. I'm going to move this next to my microphone. I can just about hear a little buzz. I think I need to turn it off for now before we pop it into the pond. So we've got the first tube on. Now time to connect the T connector. Again, pop that on. If you do have some hot water, that would be nice. Really, it's quite tricky to force that on, but that's on nice and tight now. And then each of these I'm going to do about 2 foot as well. Let's go for there. And it says exactly the same length. So we'll go there. We're going to pop these on the ends of the T connector. Hopefully you can see all that going on. Nice and secure, that one. And this one. There we go, they're both on. Now let's put the aeration balls on. Again, pop them in, really push them down so they're nice and tight. There's one. Here's the other one. So setup seems quite simple. There's the balls connected. There's our T connector, goes into the back of the solar panel, which is the pump. I'm gonna pop them straight in, get them down deep. Okay, so just show you, here's the solar panel connected on here. Here's our on, off, and our modes. Goes in, and you'll just be able to see there's the balls. So I'll be able to pop them at the center. If I leave them there for a second, let's see what happens when I switch it on. Oh, instant effect. Right, I see. Hopefully you can see them nicely. The two aeration balls giving off plenty of bubbles. Let's pop them right into the center of the pond. In fact, try and space them out a little bit. Then show that without the light. There's the bubbles coming off of those balls. So you can spread them about. So they are a little bit spaced out. There's the bubbles coming up. This pond is now absolutely aerated, full of oxygen. Really quick and easy to set up. The pond now for 24 hours a day will have plenty of oxygen in it. Okay, that's probably a better angle. You can really see the bubbles coming up there from those stones that are now sitting just off the bottom of my pond. I really think this is going to help the pond get plenty more oxygen into it. Will help things like my lily flowers. Meant to be a pink one. We get a white one. And my yellow iris in the corner, and hopefully when I get some fish. Now let's see if there's any difference between the two different modes. So it says high bubbles or low bubbles. If I press the mode button, all right, okay, so there's that little blue light is showing every time I click it. You can have high bubbles or low bubbles. I think maybe depending on how much this is charged, I've only just put it in, will determine how much bubbles you can have. So that's going to about the third setting at the moment. There you go, the bubbles really coming up there. So adding extra oxygen to your pond can have tons of extra benefits, from improving the water quality to improving the health of your aquatic life. Healthier fish, healthier plants. Reduces algae growth, which is what we all want. Apparently it disrupts the stagnant low oxygen zones where algae and harmful bacteria thrive. It helps reduce the buildup of nutrients like phosphates and nitrates, again, which feed algae blooms. Prevents foul odours from building up in your pond. No one wants a smelly pond. Helps keep the water clearer so you can see into it much nicer. And can also reduce sludge and muck buildup. Organic matter like leaves and waste that settle at the bottom of your pond break down much more slowly without oxygen. So keep your pond oxygenated and it will help the overall health of your pond. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that video and seen just how easy it is to set this up and all the benefits it can bring by adding some extra air bubbles, some extra oxygen to your pond. So all the links to this product are in the description below. Again, another big thank you to Biling for sending me this. It has been gifted to me. The link in the description is my Amazon affiliate link. So if you buy from that, I get a few pennies towards my channel. It really helps. So I'm going to leave that now to oxygenate the pond, and hopefully I'm going to see it thrive now into the future. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.